the Revit software, the keynotes are supporting the properties and the features of CSI, or Construction Standards Institute of 1995, as we mentioned before, and also CSI 2004. Okay? I mean, these two features and standards are being supported by Keynote in the Revit software. And as mentioned before, CSI stands as Construction Specification Institute. As you can see on the screen, that since 1995 to before 2004, it included 16 parts or 16 specifications, like this way. But since 2004, it developed to up to 15 parts, or 15 sections actually, be better to say, like this way, that Revit supports both. I mean, the 16 and also the 50 sections. An important point is about the material tags, that if we want to use the material keynotes, we should set the detail level to medium and fine in order to show each of these layers separately, so then we can add the keynotes, otherwise they are not visible. Or for instance, if I open a level, that even if I set the detail level to fine, the layers are not shown, so we cannot use the material keynote in this scene because the assembly is not visible. So we have to open a view or a floor plan that all of the details and the elements are visible exactly. The next point is that if you are using the nested families in your projects, you have to assign the shared parameters between them. And as you remember, we talked about the nested families in the family part, that if you have forgotten them, I recommend you to get back to the family part again and watch the videos. And in the Revit software in Keynote, when we open it, we got three options in the drop down list that will cover them. In Keynote settings, as you can see, firstly we have specified a file location for, as you can see, by default we got the Keynote for 1995. That if I click on the view, we'll have this 16 sections. As you can see, by default, that I can click on browse, and afterwards I can choose the CSI 2004 TXT, like this way. Watch this, table loaded successfully. As you can see here, we got the 50 parts instead of the 16 parts. And as you can see, the CSI since 2004 is been developed more professional than before 2004, and we got regular specifications. And when we use a keynote which is different from the default one, the file path will be set to relative, not at library locations. Then I will talk about the absolute and also the relative. But for now I click on cancel, or I can talk about the keynote settings. Watch this. The construction or the structure of the keynotes, let me open the default one of 1995 right here in the notepad. I'm in, which is the default one for Revit. Check it out. And Revit software has provided some unique codes, as you can see, in order to manage them better. Watch this in the notepad. We got some unique ones. So in the first column, we got the unique codes, okay? And none of them are similar to each other, okay? So if there is any similarity between the codes, between the keynotes, will be encountered with a warning message, and will be asked to modify it or revise it to remove the similarity. And also we got a description here, as you can see. Let me move on. We got the divisions from 1 to 16, and as you can see, we got the categories of the divisions that we can manage them like this way. And when we determine a code for the keynotes like this, here there is a space that is created using tab, not space. Then we got the description, execution requirements, for instance. Afterwards, we have to determine that the code and the explanation to its relative category. Watch this, O1000, which is division 1, as you can see. For instance, O1700s can be found in the first category. So, firstly, we got the code, then the explanation, afterwards the title, as you can see, to be determined. This was the entire structure of the keynotes, but I will talk about how to create keynotes. For now, I close this. Okay.